Arca 1964 here, looking at races from the 29th of June 2026 to the 5th of July. Start at Pontefract Amateur Jockeys Handicap Stakes of just over 1 mile 2 furlongs for fields plus. And the Danny O'Neill Birthday Maiden Stakes, again of just over 1.5 miles for fields only. The Wilford Memorial Handicap Stakes of a fraction of a 6 furlongs for fields plus. It's run since 2003. This is sponsored by Tony Perkins in honour of his grandfather Wilford Underwood. Also has Wayne Conway Memorial Handicap Stakes, run just over 1 mile for fields plus. Ran for 11 years and has been sponsored in that period by the Conway family. I said before I like my cup type races, and at Brighton on Tuesday there's the Coast Cremations Cup Classified Stakes over just under 6 furlongs, and that's field plus. Over an island at Roscommon on the same day, there's an evening meeting and there's a Sean Cleary Memorial Handicap over just over 1 mile 2 furlongs for 4 years plus. It's named after Sean Cleary, who tragically died in a fall in Galway in 2003. His brother Rory Cleary has run this race 3 times. A couple of days before Sean's tragic death, his son, also called Sean, and he's been riding winners. 1st July at Epsom, an evening meeting. We have an Apprentice Handicap Stakes of just over 1 mile 2 furlongs for 4 years plus. Another evening meeting, this time at Fairyhouse back in Ireland, and the Apprentice Handicap of exactly 6 furlongs for 3 years plus. Back in England on the same day at Worcester, a conditional jockey's handicap hurdle over 2 miles 7 furlongs. Back in Ireland, an evening meeting, apprentice handicap over just under 1 mile 6.5 furlongs, get 3 years plus. On the same day at Limerick, we have a Graham's hurdle, a grade 3 over 2 miles. I'm a little lost about this race, as Graham's never won at Limerick, and it's possibly to be moved across actually. Race always be on at Tipperary, where Graham's did win a couple of races, so I'm not sure whether it's been permanently transferred this year, because it's certainly won at Tipperary beforehand, or whether it's something's wrong with Tipperary. I can't see anything obviously there, so I don't quite know what's going on, frankly. There's also Naas Hunt Flat Race in memory of Jane McDonnell, that's 2 miles, and that'll be after the local bookmaker who died quite recently. Again, Thursday, evening meeting at Newbury, another apprentice handicap, this time over just over 5 furlongs of fields plus. Yarmouth also has an apprentice handicap on the same day, and that's a fraction of 1 mile 3.5 furlongs for 4 years plus. And another apprentice handicap next day, Beverley, another evening meeting, this fraction over 1.5 miles and 4 years plus. Friday in Abbot, we have the Gordon Road Memorial Handicap Hurdle over 2 miles 167 yards. It's Pisman UA, so sadly I assume Gordon Road died relatively recently. I can't find any information about him though. Same day at Sandown, the Batters Handicap Stakes, so a fraction of 5 furlongs for fields only. Battash being a top quality sprinter, winning multiple Group 1 races and also won 2 races at Sandown. And the Dragon Stakes, a listed race over a game of sprint of 5 furlongs, so this of the fields only. And the Gala Stakes, over a fraction under 1 mile 2 furlongs for fields plus. And the Marathon listed stakes, which is the Easter Stakes, and that's just over 2 miles, and that's 4 years plus. The Dragon Stakes in run since 1992. I'm not sure where the name though came from. Esher is basically the area near Sandown Park, and it's a Newbury train station. That race has been run since 2003. And Gala Stakes, again I don't quite know where the name comes from, and that was first run in 2002. Saturday evening meeting at Bellewstown, there's a Dickie McGuinness Novice Hurdle, 2 miles 1 furlong. It's been around for the last couple of years and is sponsored by the family. Beverley on the same day was Matthew Allen Moore EBF Maiden Stakes over just under 7.5 furlongs, 2 roads only. And the race has been named after him since 2023. There's also the George Kilburn Moore Nursery Handicap Stakes over the same distance, also 2 roads only. And the race has been named after him since 2004. There's also Charlie Wood Stakes, listed race over just over 1.5 miles for 4 years plus. And he was a former jockey, active in the end of the 19th century, won over 5 classics. And there's an interesting, just a Wikipedia article about him. He was actually warned off in a betting scandal. There was always debate whether he was guilty or not, I think, but he still got warned off. Then came back afterwards, after it says campaigned for his return and won the Triple Crown. This race was known as the Fred Archer Stakes back in Newmarket until when it was transferred to Beverley 2 years ago, I think. I can understand why the race was named after Holborn Charlie Wood and not Fred Archer. We really could do the race named after Fred Archer as well. There's also Coconut Cup Fillies Handicap Stakes over 100 yards, and that's fields plus. And I have no idea about Coconut Cup. It is a Pan American mountain bike race. It's the only thing I can find anywhere with a name Coconut Cup. So God knows if what's going on there. There's also Happy Birthday Roy Archer Handicap Stakes of exactly the same distance, and that's fields only. Saturday evening at Carlisle, 6 races, all for female jockeys, all 6 handicaps. These are 1 mile 1 furlong, 4 euro plus, 7 furlongs 173 yards of 3 years plus, same distance for another one for 4 years plus. Just over 1 mile, 3 furlongs, 4 euro plus. A stairs race 2 miles, 1 furlong and a small bit, 4 euros plus. Final race just under 6 furlongs for 4 euros plus. At Naas we have the Blackbeard Tipperary Stakes listed race over 5 furlongs exactly for tours only. And the Pat's Mullen Stakes listed race of 1 mile exactly, again tours only. Second race at 2 months at Naas, whereas Kumar have used under the name of their horse Blackbeard. I'm now weird that Tipperary is actually closed. I looked this up earlier, couldn't find any information about it. I think I was looking at Pacific Race to Grimes Hurdle. So yeah, Tipperary has been redeveloped. We've been normally run at Tipperary, which is why it got the name Tipperary Stakes. Pat's Mullen Mudharzan to win the Epsom and Irish Derby 2016, also winning races such as the Irish St Leger. Sadly though, back a few years ago he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, did a lot of charity work to raise awareness of disease, but was sadly dying in 2020. This race obviously named after him, and was a series which was a Pat's Mullen series which gives it operating throughout the year as well as other memorial and fundraising efforts. Same day at Newmarket we have the Lancashire Oaks over 1.5 miles for Fields Plus, and the Old Newton Cup the same distance, 4 euros plus the handicap. There's issues with Haydock and his turf for the moment, and these 2 races have been transferred over here. Nottingham has the Heritage Cup Village Handicap Stakes over 1 mile, 2 furlongs, 50 yards for 4 euros plus. Sandown has a core charge, registered for Sprint Stakes with 5 furlongs, 3 euros plus. And the distaff for female horses, listed race 1 mile for fields only. The very well and long running Eclipse Stakes, Group 1, faction over 1 mile, 2 furlongs with 3 euros plus. We will air on Sunday, there's an Ample Jockey's Handicap over 5 furlongs with 4 euros plus. And Rocket Rasen on the same day, there's Tom Halliwell Memorial Conditional Jockey's Handicap Hurdle over 2 miles, 4, 159 yards. And this named after a jockey who tragically was killed in a fall at a racecourse in 2005.